This is going to be the wrap-up video for day one of our vacation from Winchester, Kentucky to New York, New York. So we were supposed to fly. We always go Delta. So our intention was to fly into Atlanta and then go from Atlanta to New York. That's just the way they do it.
Atlanta's the hub. So Lexington's a small city, so you have to go from the small city to the hub,
Yeah, so even though you're going south, it doesn't make sense. That's just the way they do it. So the good thing, it turned out to be a good thing. We were making our way through Lost, the TV show Lost. And we had like 3 episodes to go to get to the end of season 1. And so we decided to stay up late last night and watch till we got to the end of season 1. So we finished up at about 11:30. And right when I had gone to the bathroom to brush my teeth, Kevin had gone in his bathroom to brush his teeth, Ashley texted me and she said, I just got a message from Delta that our flight has been delayed. So it was a good thing we were all up, because if she hadn't been up, if we hadn't been up, if we had waited until the next day, like if we had already set our alarms and gone to bed, then there wouldn't have been any option, and we would have left at a delayed time, but there's no telling what time we would have gotten to New York today.
Yeah, well, they delayed the flight from Lexington to Atlanta. The Atlanta to New York time was fine, but they delayed the flight by what, an hour?
It was so
like an hour and 45 minutes
delayed that we couldn't have
made the connecting flight.
No.
So we would have had to rebook everything anyway.
Right.
The good thing is they just had an option where it said find other flights.
Yes.
And it found that one, which went to
Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
and we've never been to
never been
the
there.
Reagan Airport.
Reagan International Airport.
It is so nice.
It's a nice airport.
It is a
So they did that, and I just booked those, and it was fine. Matter of fact, we even got to sit together on one of the flights, and now the second flight we had to sit apart.
We had to sit completely apart, all 3 of us.
That's okay.
And what was funny about it, though, is there was no TVs. So
they're small planes.
So we didn't have a flight today at all that had a TV.
No.
So there was no option.
It's all short hops though, like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yes, there was no option to watch a movie or anything. Well, I thought it was going to be a longer flight.
I did too. I think that was the time from Atlanta.
Right.
And it was still holding on to that time, so we thought it was going to be like a 2-hour flight.
2-hour flight, and it
ended up
wasn't.
being only like 48 minutes.
Right. So yeah, it didn't take us long at all. But I do want to say that Reagan Airport,
really nice.
They have so many artistic elements in there, so much like art, and like there's murals on the floor, there's art on the windows. It's just everywhere, and it's
clean.
bright. It's very clean. It's not a big airport, so it wasn't busy. Only thing,
you walk from terminal, not terminal, but the good thing is each terminal is fairly short.
Yes.
And then you walk down to the next one, then you go into a little terminal and you walk out. The only weird thing was they didn't have any like a big central area, like the duty-free stores and like a big central area
where
they all connect to. I didn't see anything.
No. The only complaint that I would make is where we went to eat. We went to Smash Burger, and there was like no seating. There's like no seating. Like if you are eating at sorry, I realize I'm yelling now because the air went off. If you're eating at a particular restaurant, then of course you can use the seating at that restaurant.
Right.
We were eating Smash Burger, and Smash Burger doesn't have any seating currently. So it's like you're trying to find seating. So that's the only thing that I would say is they could use some more seating.
The restaurants are in the gate areas though. So my guess is that they're thinking you're going to stay in your gate area
and eat,
get the food, and sit in your seats while you're waiting for your plane to board. That's my guess. That's why they don't have a lot of extra seating.
Right.
Like I said, they really didn't have a central area for like a food court.
Right.
These were just in your gate areas.
Right.
So it was a little weird, but it was really nice.
Yes, Ashley said I would 10 times rather fly out of here than fly out of Atlanta, because it's so busy. Atlanta's so busy, and it's big, and it's just,
it makes sense if you're going to New York to go to Washington first.
Yeah,
but not if you're going to Florida, it wouldn't make much sense to go to Washington first.
Right. So we didn't have any issues on either flight. As a matter of fact, They didn't even come by on the flight to
They
New
said it
York.
was so short they weren't going to service the cabin.
Yeah, so they didn't
Only
give out.
first class got service.
Oh, did they get service? I didn't pay attention. Yeah, we didn't get they didn't offer us water or anything. I wouldn't have taken it anyway. I always decline for the most part, unless we're going overseas. I try to decline those drinks because I do not want to have to get out of my seat on the plane. So even when we're going to Hawaii, it's a 5-hour flight. I won't, if I can help it, I will not get out of my seat the whole time. I just don't like to. I like to stay seated.
I don't like to go in those little bathrooms.
No, it freaks me out.
I feel like I'm a bull in a closet.
I'm scared I'm going to get stuck. I'm terrified. I'm afraid of confined spaces. So for me, it's about being claustrophobic, and I do not like using those bathrooms. So I make sure I go before I get on the plane, and I don't drink anything. We don't drink a lot when we travel anyway.
No, I'm usually dying of thirst by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole time we're on vacation, we don't drink enough.
We don't drink enough. No, for all the activity and time we're outside and everything, we probably don't drink enough. But we got to New York, and it was pretty easy. We found the baggage easy. It was on your phone.
It was a little weird how they did the baggage claim. That the baggage claim on the actual app said T4. There's no T4.
There isn't.
It was and then we got a message, a notification saying it was in claim 10. I think that's what it said, claim 10. So it's oh, well, we've seen 10. So there's 10, 11, and 12 or something we'd seen 10, so we went there and it was there. I don't know what the T4 was. I have no clue what that was.
Right.
So, but yeah, it was pretty easy. I mean, it was already unloaded by the time we got down there and everything.
And then we went outside, and Ashley said, it was kind of reminded us of the cruise ship experience. She said the same thing. She said they have this down to a science. You get in a line to get a cab.
Ground transportation.
You get in line and stand in line with your baggage, and they've got people up there
They
deciding.
got taxis lined up.
Yeah, they are deciding whether you need a smaller cab or a bigger van. They're deciding.
It's all the same price.
And they'll tell you what to get in.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll give you all the prices. The very last video, the wrap up, we're going to give you prices of everything. But the scary part was
the ride.
The ride from the airport into the city. I promise I'm not being funny, because I am really bad. I'm a bad passenger.
She's a nervous passenger.
I'm freely willing, I admit that. But when Kevin and Ashley are agreeing with me,
it was scary.
That tells you it's not just me complaining. This driver, we got a crazy one.
Well, I think there was a lot of them because everybody was driving.
Listen, he didn't want to be in the left lane. He didn't want to be in the right lane. He wanted to be in the middle. He thought that line right there meant to stay in the middle and don't pick a lane. Yeah. He didn't want to pick a lane.
He was trying to hedge his bets on which way he was going to go.
And it was
faster.
Constant. And
he would ride right on the line.
He was cutting people off.
Yeah, but we've seen that all over.
Oh, it was terrifying. It really was scary.
And I told them when we got back to the hotel, I said, I also learned that a white crossing thing doesn't mean anything. You still have to watch for the cars that turn, because if you're crossing, unless there's a big group of you, they can't do it. But if you're kind of spread out and there's a group in front of you and a car will just pull them between the two groups. They don't care. So you just got to be careful when you're crossing the street even.
People are honking.
Honking for no reason.
They're honking and
there'll be somebody, like the taxi cab guy. There was a person in front of his car. The guy behind him's honking. It's there's somebody standing in front of me. I can't go anywhere. He didn't say that. I'm saying that's what he's thinking.
It's just the driving and the traffic is crazy. I was under the impression that in July a lot of people left the city because it was so hot.
Probably the tourists are all here.
Well, there's a lot of traffic still here.
Yeah,
but but I expected that. We're coming to New York.
Yeah,
I don't mind the traffic at all. It's just a matter of pick a lane. It was just shocking the way that
there was sometimes
aggressive.
His GPS would say in 100 feet, turn left. He'd still be in the right-hand lane. It's he's going to get over 3 lanes in between now and the light.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to make it. He would just shove his way in there.
He made it, and I don't know how he did it. I think you know that if you don't
just do it.
If you don't let people in front of you, you're going to get hit.
I have seen a lot of cars with little dings in their fenders and stuff.
Like
Lots
they've been
of
hit.
cars.
Yeah.
It's funny.
But we got here. If we did not, nothing happened.
No,
So
it
we're
was
glad.
fun. Yeah.
But we made it to the hotel. The hotel is very nice.
Big room, as you can see behind me.
The hallways, it is kind of warm right now in the city. So the hallways are warm.
Yeah, it's like they're not air conditioned.
Yeah, but once you get in the rooms are air conditioned. There is not overhead lighting.
No,
So
just
we
lamps.
have 3 lights behind the bed.
You can see 2 of them.
We have a desk light, and then we have another like, what do you call that? A stand light. But there's a light in front of a floor light, and then there's a light next to the door. There's no overhead lighting though, so that's why you're wondering why are they doing this video in the dark? Well, we've turned on every light that we could. But it is a very spacious room. It's very nice. Like I said, at the end, we'll be giving you prices, how much we paid for this. But Ashley was hungry, and we said we were hungry too. And so we went to eat at a barbecue place.
Virtuals.
It was, the meat itself was really good. Ashley loved her mashed potatoes, and she loved her macaroni and cheese.
She said they were the best sides she's ever had.
The best macaroni and cheese she said that she's ever had at a restaurant. She loved it.
The meat was good. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was no better than Sonny's or any of the other places.
No, it wasn't.
It was good.
They had like a cornbread. The cornbread.
I didn't even try it. Tammy said it was so bad I didn't even try it.
Well, me and Ashley both told me that. It arrived to the table. It was not warm. It was not hot. It wasn't. It
looked like it had green stuff in it.
It was like, I think it was
green onion or something.
But they weren't heated up. So they were the texture wasn't good because they weren't heated up. And then the biscuit that they brought me, it looked delicious.
It looked really nice.
It wasn't heated up either. The French fries were not.
They were not
hot.
And they didn't have really any flavor to them at all.
So
it took a long time to get our meal too, and it really wasn't that busy.
It took a very, very,
so you would
very
think
long time.
the meat was good and it was hot, but you would have thought everything else would have been hot, but it sure wasn't.
Now the service was good. She was just as nice as she could be. Everybody there was just very, very friendly. So it's not about the service at all. I really like the service.
No, it's just things could have been hotter.
But as far as the food goes, I personally would not recommend going there because it was very expensive.
It's ridiculous.
It was very expensive, and it wasn't worth it. Like, I would not go there again.
No. No, I mean, if we were at home and I looked at the menu and had this price, we'd probably just leave.
We wouldn't have eaten there.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have eaten there.
Yeah, I'd rather make my own at home.
I know.
And there's just no way. But we're glad for the experience, and it's always great fun to try something new.
Went through a bunch of stores, and we enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, we went in stores that we all wanted to go in. You know, Ashley picked a couple, I picked a couple. I, of course, went into a grocery store because I just had to.
It's really the only grocery store around there.
But you know what? I even think Ashley, even though she was probably thinking, I don't want to go in a grocery store, I think she was actually impressed because we went down an escalator to get down in the basement, and it was a full-size grocery store. And I think
it was kind of chopped up weird, but it was big.
Yes, but I think Ashley was really surprised that it was as big as it was and that they had as much stuff. But that was fun. But we've had a really good time. We're in the room now. We'll probably go back.
It's starting to get dark. We're trying to wait till it gets darker to go down and see the lights.
Yeah, we want to see the lights. We've seen Times Square kind of during the day, and even though it's during the day, it's still bright. You still see the lights, but it's going to be even brighter now when we go out. So
of course, now all the crazies are going to be out.
Yeah, it's
crazy. We're not going to stay out there.
Fortunately, it's about, 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah. It's literally walk out here, walk to the corner. We're there.
We are right in the middle of everything. So we'll be out there for 5 minutes, and I'll get to do a video I'll get to send videos to family and stuff like that. And Patreon members, YouTube members, they are getting pictures, videos, stuff like that. I'll make sure that I post that stuff. But yeah, and of course, if you're watching the video
After the fact.
yeah, you would have already seen it. That hey, that's when they went out. But then we'll probably just come back in the room and take a shower and everything.
Go to bed. Because
Yeah.
we've been up
Yeah,
4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, we've been up. Yeah, we didn't get a lot of sleep last night because we stayed up to watch that last episode of Lost in season 1. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed the videos, and tomorrow will be day 2. We have all kinds of stuff planned, and I'm really excited. So I hope you enjoy it too.